Hi everybody, it's Mr. Arduino, and I'm here to talk about the homework that was assigned this evening. We've got Monday review sheet 1 through 10, and we've got the Tuesday review sheet 1 through 10 as well, due tomorrow. So do as much as you can, don't stress out too much about it. I put a lot of effort into it, that's all I'm looking for you to do. If you're having problems with certain problems on here, then we'll go over in class as a whole group class. So don't worry about it, just put some effort into it. We're gonna go over on Monday's sheet 6, 7, and 9, and then on Tuesday's sheet number 4, we had some questions about that. So starting right off with number 6, it says insert the decimal into the answer to the problem. So they give you the answer to the problem as 40931, and they give you the equation as 6 1/10 times 6 71/100. So what we're looking for is how many digits are there to the right of the decimal point, okay? So I have 1 here, and then I have 1, 2 here, for a total of, yes, 3. 3 digits total to the right of the decimal point in the problem. So that means I need to move the decimal point 3 times the other direction, the left, starting at the very back of the number. So I'm starting here where the marker is, and I'm going 1, 2, and 3, and I put the decimal right there. So my answer is going to be 40 and 931 thousandths. So we could also figure that answer out by estimating, which is going to be the next 2 problems. And if I were to estimate or round 6.1 to the nearest whole number, it would be 6. And if I were to round 6 71/100ths to the nearest whole number, I would get 7, because this 6, the 7 is 5 or above, so we're going up. I would round that 6 to a 7. So it'd be 6 times 7, which equals 42, which is close to 40. Okay, I mean, it's not close to 409 if the decimal was here, and it's not close to 4 if the decimal was here. So it's 42. That tells me that 40.931 is the correct answer. Okay, and that's the next problem. So let's go over number 7. Number 7 says estimate the answer. So estimating the answer means to round the answer. And the problem that we have is 1.821. And that's times 0.2 or 0 and 2/10, same number. Again, what we're doing here is we're rounding because it's asking us to estimate. And if I were to round 1.821 to the nearest whole number, I'm looking at 1, and I'm looking at 8 to tell me what to do with the 1. So because 8 is 5 or above, we're going to go ahead and round up the 1 to a 2. It becomes 2 or 2.0. And the 2/10, we're rounding to the nearest whole number, that's the 1's place. It's a 0. The 2 is telling us what to do. It's 4 or below, so we're keeping that 0 as 0. So it's 2 times 0. So your answer is going to be near 0. It may not make sense until you look at the answers. You have 4 options for your answers. We're not going to write them all down. You have 0.0036 or 3.6420 or 36.4200 or 0.3642. So out of those 4 options, the one that is closest to 0 would be 0.3. So 0.00 is not close to 0, but 0.3 is very close to 0. So your answer there would be D, and hopefully you understood how we came to that conclusion. Number 8 is the same thing. You're just rounding those numbers and then multiplying them and then deciding based on the answer which one is closest to your estimated or rounded answer. Okay, so that's number 7. And number 9 is a word problem, and everybody had questions on this. Thank you for those who asked questions. A botanist was measuring how tall her plant grew. After 2 weeks, it had grown 9 82 hundredths inches. The second week alone, it had grown 3 and 72 inches. How much did it grow the first week? Okay, so you have this plant, it's growing. We're trying to find the first week. We know how much it grew in the second week, and we also know how much it had grown after the total 2 weeks. So the best way that I can explain this to you guys is to write an equation. It may not seem like a lot of fun, but it's the best way. Okay, there's not a key word in here that it tells you exactly what to do. So I know that the plant, because that's what we're talking about, grew a total of 9.82 or 9 and 82 inches. Okay, so I also know that in the second week, and I'm going to label it second week and draw a nice little arrow up, it grew, it says here, the second week alone, it had grown 3 and 72 inches. 3 and 72 inches. So I need to know what's the first week. How much did it grow the first week? That's what the question is asking. It says, how much did it grow the first week? So that's what we don't know right here. What is this? Addition or subtraction? So you need to be able to kind of say, well, week 1 plus week 2 is going to equal the total. So my operation here is going to be addition. Now I have the equation. Some number plus 3.72 equals 9.82. Some people begin to see this right away. Other people need a little bit more help. But in order to find the missing addend that is located over there, you are going to take 3.72 away from 9.82 to get the difference. And then find the remainder amount. So using the space appropriately, I can just go 9.82 minus, lining out my decimals and addition and subtraction, like so. And so I've set the problem up for you. Now you finish the problem. And don't forget to give a unit. Don't forget to give a unit. You don't know what the unit is? Reread the question. Okay, I'll leave that up to you. The final one is going to be on the Tuesday homework section, and that's number 4. So number 4, I don't think is too difficult for you guys, but it does bring up an interesting idea, and that is the idea that I talk about every day of place value. So I have the place values up here for you so you can kind of see exactly what I'm talking about. But the equation of number 4 on Tuesday's homework is 1 minus 0 and 36 hundredths. So they're just asking you to subtract this. So I'm going to kind of go up here to the place value chart. 1. That goes in the ones place. Okay, so here's your 1. And what I've said many times in this class is whole numbers, if they don't have a decimal after them, there's no need to put the decimal. But you can see that there's a decimal right here. We don't need to put it there, but it's there. And I guess it's important to put it there now just so we can show the relationship between the subtraction of these two numbers. So I am subtracting, and I'm going to draw my line. And now my next number that I'm taking away is 36 hundredths. Okay, so here's my decimal, lining it up for addition and subtraction. And here's 36. So 3 is in the tenths place, 6 is in the hundredths place. Whoops, that was kind of messy. 3 is in the tenths place, 6 is in the hundredths place. So this is what I have setting up for my equation. Okay, I am going to erase this to get it out of the way. So the other thing that we need to do that we've been learning about is putting zeros in to hold the place value. It's not so important in addition, but it is essential in subtraction. So I'm just going to go ahead and fill in the missing. There's no digit in the ones place, so I'm going to go ahead and put a 0 there to hold it. And then I'm going to put zeros up here in these place values. I didn't change the value of 1. It's still 1. It's 1.00. That equals 1. But now I have the digits up there so I can kind of do the math. Right now that's your job. You need to do the math. So you need to do some borrowing here in order to subtract 36 hundredths from 1 whole. Okay, and then you'll have your answer, and that's it. But I wanted to show you how place value works when it comes to subtracting weird numbers like that. Okay, Again, just try your best, put forth effort. We'll talk about this in class tomorrow. And yeah, that's it. So have fun. See you tomorrow.